Alexa, what's the weather for the next 3 hours?
At 7 a.m, rain. At 8 a.m, rain. At 9 a.m, rain. At 10 a.m, rain. Also, there's a flood alert in effect.
I'll get a rain jacket.
Lovely morning for it. Morning, Vicar. Good morning and welcome to an absolutely drenched Sunday morning ride. What are we doing? So Jimmy and I are back together and we're just going to head off to meet Mark now and go out on what promises to be a ride that is wetter than an otter's pocket. Oh! Now it's a party! Oh yes! Exactly why we've come out in this weather is a bit of a mystery at the moment, but it does give me a good opportunity to fully test my AliExpress rain jacket that I bought for about 20 quid. So let's see how this gets on. And talking of kit, my Lake CX146 winter riding boots that got absolutely drenched on last week's ride, going through what effectively was a lake, have finally dried out. Literally last night was the first time that they finally felt dry. So let's see if I can keep dry feet today. For now, I'm gonna sign off until the sun comes up a little bit, until you can see me a little better. So I can't imagine the rain is gonna get any lighter, but we can only hope. Right, well, we have hit sunrise. Not that you know about it, but the sun is over there somewhere, hidden behind the cloud. But believe me, it is actually sunrise. And as expected, the rain hasn't let up. If anything, it's got heavier. So sit rep. My feet are currently sat in 2 buckets. Now that's no fault of my lake boots. It's just that the road spray keeps hitting my legs, running down my legs and into my boots. So not really much that can be done about that. But my hands are soaking wet, but I've got latex gloves on under my gloves because wet and wind often equals cold. And I know, having been out before, with just these gloves on, it does get really bloody cold. So latex gloves on underneath. My hands will get sweaty inside them, but the rubber gloves do stop the wind getting to the moisture on my hands and making them cold. But otherwise, my top half, tickety boo. This jacket's working out perfectly so far. And right on cue, here comes my favourite descent into Littlebury. Let's do it. Well, it's fair to say that descent wasn't as fast as it normally is. I was having to squint the whole way down because the rain was like needles in my eyes. I probably should have put the glasses back on at that point. I took them off earlier because I literally couldn't see anything in the dark. Sat behind Mark and all I could see were 1,000 of his rear red light reflecting in the droplets on my glasses, so I had to take them off. I should have put them on for that descent though, but hopefully back to normal speed, not doing warp speed down descents anymore. How was that?
Eyes are stinging. Needles in eyes. These are the ones to remember. We've said that previously. We will remember this.
Not for the right reasons necessarily, but we will remember it. Right, well, having battled up that hill, we're now at another one of my favourite descents. The glasses are going on for this one. Right, well, having put the glasses on for that descent, they're now coming off again because I can genuinely not see a thing through them. What is the point of glasses? So having just flown down that hill at about 35 miles per hour with my legs spinning out, it's probably a good point to explain that my front derailleur still isn't working. But it's not actually a problem with my front derailleur, it's my left shifter. For some reason, it just doesn't seem to be engaging. I'm now effectively running a 1x, but to be honest, it's not really caused that many problems. Since changing the cassette at the back from the 11 to 28 to the 11 to 32, I've actually found that I'm shifting at the front a lot less often anyway. So maybe I forego the left shifter and just go 1x completely. What do you think? Right, well, we've been out in this for about an hour and a half now. Whoa, easy. Windage. Windy. I'll hold the handlebars during this bit. So we've been out for about an hour and a half in this now. We're about 20 miles in and the rain has only got heavier in that time. And it's fair to say I'm struggling a little bit now. I did parkrun with my son yesterday and the legs are feeling it. My thighs were on fire on one of the climbs a couple of miles back. Yeah, these hills aren't getting any easier. And I will just take this opportunity to say that I apologise in advance if the lighting in this video is going a bit haywire. This rain is playing havoc with the touchscreen on the back of my GoPro and it's setting exposure all over the place. I'll try my best to make this viewable in the edit, but yeah, apologies. Now puddles I don't mind. It's when they're brown lakes that I worry a little bit. Oh sh**. Ah!
Oh my god.
That was a brown lake. In fact, it wasn't a lake, that was a stream. That grabbed my 50mm aero wheels and nearly took me off. Oh boy. It is a raging torrent. Are we still having fun?
Yay!
And someone's driveway has basically become a lake here, or more a stream actually. Okay, well if my feet weren't wet before, which they were anyway, but they definitely are now. What are we doing? Up until that point I was thinking, well at least it's only rain. It's not like we've had any lakes to go through like the flood water we had in last weekend's ride. And then we come across that and all of a sudden this is officially worse than last weekend. And having seen that, I've just thought, oh man, wouldn't it be good to get on a plane and fly somewhere sunny now? But unfortunately, for the people on that plane, that appears to be just coming into land at Stansted. So welcome to the UK and its fabulous weather. Hello wind!
Wind and rain, yeah, alright.
And now, as you can see by Mark's jacket billowing in the wind, we've got wind too. Oh! Now that one was nothing, that was a mere puddle.
Oh yeah! Anyone got wet feet? Let's rephrase that. Anyone got part of their body that isn't wet?
Oh yes!
Oh, look at this wave!
How was your first experience riding through a lake?
I loved it! That is what it's all about.
So those cars that were waiting there for us to come out of the lake, I'm not sure if they were waiting out of courtesy or just pondering whether they're actually going to make it through, looking at how deep it is and how deep our wheels were.
We could have said no. That message will never happen. We give it a miss today, boys. Nah.
Yeah, there were a few messages in the group chat last night. Oh, it looks a bit rainy tomorrow, lads, might call it off. And there was a message this morning from a couple of the lads, yeah, too wet for me. No such thing. As Jimmy keeps saying, skin is waterproof. Right, well, just over 2 hours in, 30 miles done, and we're nearly home. And when I get back, we'll see the results of this jacket, see if it's actually kept me dry on the inside. But unfortunately, before we get there, this route we're on, once again, takes us up Brewery Lane. The nasty little 10% punch. There'll be no KOM again for me today. I'll be lucky just to get up it without getting off. Right, here we go then. This is going to be my slowest ever ascent of Brewery Lane. Go on, Jimbo. I'll see you at the top. Although there'll be no record up here today, I think I am still the local legend on this particular Strava segment, and I stole it from my good friend Stu. Sorry, Stu. Good riding with you, mate. That was great, wasn't it?
Cheers.
Love that.
Brilliant.
Take care, mate. See you later.
Question, where would you rather be? In bed, tucked up, warm, under a duvet, in slumber, or out in this, soaking wet, riding through puddles?
Let me get back to you on that one. Great riding with you, mate. Nice one. Look at that. Look.
Soaking.
Good riding with you. Oh boy, what a ride. And now, let's see how this jacket's performed. But actually, before that, I've just realised the reason I might have struggled up some of those hills is that my 50mm deep aero profile wheels are full of water. Hang on a second. Have a listen to this. That hasn't helped my weight at all. Let's get this jacket off. Because typically, just as we arrive home, the rain eases off. What are the chances? How's your luck? So let me give you a sit rep first of all on the rest of my body. So feet, I think that goes without saying. Oh, and my legs are absolutely burning. But my feet are basically a couple of puddles at the moment. And my hands, yeah, they're pretty wet too. But importantly, if I take the gloves and the glove liners off, the rubber gloves did me well. My hands are a little bit moist, but that's probably just the sweat in the gloves. So although my hands are wet, they stayed nice and warm this morning. As for my head, yeah, and it's fair to say that's caught a bit of the rain as well. But let's get the jacket off. Right, I've had to start and stop recording a few times because the rain is, or at least the water is playing havoc with my camera. But rain jacket is off. My front here is absolutely soaking, but that is my fault because I had the jacket undone most of the ride so I could stick my camera in here. But my back is largely dry. There's a little bit of moisture there, but that is to be expected because as gross as this is to talk about, that is where I've been sweating. It can't get out of the jacket, it's not breathable, so it condensates inside, and obviously you do find yourself becoming a little bit moist. However, that is the same for all rain jackets as far as I've found. I've had friends with Rafa, Castelli, Le Col jackets, you know, top of the range, high-end jackets, and you always still end up like a boil in the bag. So unfortunately, it doesn't really matter how much you spend, you're never going to be able to stay 100% dry. But for 20 quid from AliExpress, I'm actually very, very impressed with that jacket, and I definitely wouldn't want to be spending any more than that on a rain jacket that is largely going to offer no extra protection. So go and check it out. I'll leave a link to it on AliExpress below. Go and have a look, see what you think. But yeah, my review of it is top notch. Very, very happy with it. It kept me dry, and importantly, it kept me warm. And on a day like today, that's exactly what you need. So I am now off to have a nice hot shower, nice cup of tea, and just to dry out a little bit because, yeah, I've had enough of being wet. I think I've got trench foot. But yes, thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. And as ever, I will see you in the next one. Take care.